Oh. Hi. Why this orientation? Because I'm doing some stuff and I wanted to come to stream while I'm folding my laundry. So, what am I doing right now? I'm folding my laundry. Taylor Swift new album today. Uh, uh, is the camera? Oh, right. Okay. Well, I wanted to show you my dog, but my phone holder is obscuring the camera, so no dog view. My dog is very inquisitive about stuff. You know what? Let me remove this from my neck for a second. Wait. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm folding some laundry. Meanwhile, also want to talk about some stuff while I'm folding my laundry. And kind of random, but today I want to talk to you about I think kind of related to how to make friends, I think. Okay, so the context behind this is I've been coaching some people around their business, right? And so I coach some people around their business, and they have their business, and they have all these offerings that they make to other people, like, hey, come check this out, and leave a comment here and there, and blah blah blah. But what they consistently find time over time is that for some reason, for whatever reason, right? People don't really like participate, so they get no engagement, right? And so they see other people doing the same type of things, but then they seem to get engagement, but they do the same thing, but it doesn't work, right? And so I was coaching around that topic, but what that so like why it works for some people and why it works for some other people, it's actually less dependent on you, the person who is actually doing the activity, but it is more dependent on the people who are receiving that activity, right? So, for example, um, I want you to uh, email me, and I want you to book a coaching session with me, right? Now, if you're just watching my stream, and if you're just watching this current video because you randomly happened to encounter me in your feed, now emailing a stranger and asking to book some FaceTime doesn't really make sense, right? It's too big of an ask. So if I get to know you a lot better, if I understand like we know each other pretty well, and if the needs align, then it's like a reasonable amount of ask. But out of the blue, if I'm just like if we are virtually meeting for the first time in the video, and I'm asking you, hey, subscribe to my channel and email me and schedule your coaching session and pay me and blah blah blah, it's too big of an ask, right? So something I need to invite you to something smaller. So asking you to like subscribe requires you to do something, right? Like pressing the subscribe button. Asking you to email me requires you to do something, right? And so how do I go from that ask to something smaller? Okay, so how about something passive where you don't need to do something? So you're watching this video, and then I say, so hey everyone, I have a favor. Just watch like 1 minute of my video, okay? So now comparing that ask to um, email me and schedule a time with me and then pay me, compared to that asking your for 1 minute of your time, just not doing anything and not scrolling away, that's a fairly reasonable ask now, right? And so that is what I mean by the size of the invitation. And the less we know each other and the more apprehensive you are of me, the smaller the request has to be, right? So, in terms of how this relates to the topic of like how to make friends and how to invite yourself into like social situation, how to belong in other belong in social communities is if some people meet you for the first time and then you want to be friends, like you want to be BFFs, you want to go to movies and like dinner together, that's too big of an ask, right? So how can you make, bless you, the ask a little bit more reasonable and smaller? Inviting yourself to like smaller and smaller possibilities is like the gateway to deeper relationships. Hello, Denise. Debating on whether or not to do my homework or sleep. I don't have the energy, but then again, I probably won't have the energy tomorrow or the next day. This is such a good realization. Yeah. You know yourself really well. And that kind of self awareness is very important in living life. But right now, just one step is missing. Uh, we think that when we don't feel like doing something, right, and we have reasons to feel bad about something, we think that's it. But inside of you is the power to do anything, regardless of how you feel. And more importantly, regardless, inside of you is this power to feel differently and think differently. And if you ask yourself, what would you like to have done? Pretend you're tomorrow, okay? Pretend this is tomorrow, and ask yourself, yesterday I did this. That was such a nice thing I did for myself. What would that be? Would that be sleeping or doing your homework? There's no right answer, so I would pick that. Whatever you feel like is good. And also, okay, so I talked about the friendship aspect, how to invite yourself to belonging. You just make smaller and small. For example, I was talking to someone recently about so this person recently moved to California, right? And they were looking for kind of a sense of community and somewhere to belong. So I asked them like, hey, what kind of things do you like to do? And they were like, oh, like I like hiking, I like doing like outdoorsy activities. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. So if you like physical activities, I highly recommend like bouldering, like climbing. And now, because this person hasn't really climbed before, this person's thinking like, oh, but like, how do I make friends there? Do I just go and ask, can you be my friend? Well, again, that's like too big of an ask, right? You just met this person at a gym, and you're like, hey, can you be my friend? That's too big of an ask. But climbing gyms are naturally, I think, a very good opportunity for you to meet people because why? You can ask people, hey, um, I'm climbing this boulder right now. Can you spot me? And can you be my belayer? Because climbing kind of requires two people, right? One person to actually climb and one person to like monitor the safety of things. And so, um, because there's kind of a partner aspect of it, rock climbing tends to be like a very good activity to make friends. Because why? That request, can you be my belayer? Can you be my like spotter person? That's such a reasonably small ask. And then after that, depending on how that interaction goes, now you can be like, hey, like yeah, can we meet next time? I really like this partnership we have, and then you naturally form friendships like that. Chris Adam, what's going on, brother? I assume you're a brother, but how's it going? Hey, what's up? Sovietsky, how's it going? I think the vertical video format is reaching some new audience. Welcome to some stream. Welcome to my stream. I'm talking about some life coaching topics while I'm folding my laundry. Okay, so I talked about the friendship aspect, and there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Um, yeah, the other thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is asking for help and getting help, right? Uh, asking for help, getting help can be very difficult for you, depending on your personality and your situation, right? So suppose you're like me. Suppose you're the sorry, my dogs are about to bark. Sorry, but suppose you are the youngest of the family and you're used to just kind of getting things from older members of your family, right? So when you kind of grow up in that environment and you're used to receiving, then asking for help is kind of like natural, right? But if you were the eldest person, or like the middle child, and you haven't really had support in your life, when you didn't really like learn how to ask, or even worse, you ask for help, and then your family is like, or like your society is like, you should know all this stuff. Like, why are you so reliant on other people? That turns into this kind of a negative experience, right? And suppose you're really desperate in a kind of a pickle and you could really use someone's help, and then you kind of let go of all your ego and then you asked, and then it didn't turn out to be a good experience. They didn't really give you what you want, and you got belittled. And when you have experiences like that, it asking for help tends to be really difficult, right? And why though? Like, what about that makes receiving help and asking for help so difficult? So in order to answer this, we have to think a little bit about like the effect of implicit power hierarchy in our minds, right? um you know, we're all human beings, and like we all have bodies and we all have brains, and we're more or less the same people all around. But if I hold someone in really high regard and I respect this person so much and I don't want to disappoint this person, and there's so much like, oh my god, I really want to make a good impression on this person. Or like you're in a job interview for a job that you really really want, and then so naturally in these cases you want to very impress the other person, right? So when you have this kind of a power difference of you are hitting right here and all the other party is like over there up high, and you're like, oh my god, please help me. So that power difference usually tends to make things a little rough when it comes to asking for help. Again, why? At the core of it is because you have something to lose and you have something to gain, right? So in terms of the job interview, you have something to gain, a really, really, really good job, and you have something to lose, the opportunity to work at your like a dream job. So I remember like my interviews from the past, right? I remember when I interviewed for Apple, I talked with 10 people, and that like week of talking to 10 people was like the most stressful kind of a period of my life, I in recollection. Why? Because I have so much to lose and I have so much to gain, right? And now I got the job and I went into the company, right? And then now I just started. At any company, when you just start, do you know what to do? No, right? This happens regardless of the job. You need that like on the job orientation. You need that kind of a onboarding experience. So without that, you need to kind of be asking for help. But now, okay, I got this job, and now I have even more people to impress because I want to climb up the corporate ladder. And so because of that, I have even more things to lose and I have even more things to gain now, right? So my impression is that I want to be shown off as like a self-reliant. I want to be the person who knows it all. And when I get in that mindset, super difficult to ask for help, right? Because I have something to gain, I have something to lose. And so this is just one example of this, how this like power dynamic plays. So how this relates to in general, getting help outside of job situations. If you consider yourself a person who needs help, I think that is what internally makes you view yourself as someone powerless. And that self perspective and that self image is extremely important. So I'm the same me, right? But if I think that I have a lot of things to gain from you guys, so everyone who's watching my stream, can you please, I really need to monetize my channel. Please subscribe. I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers. And you know what? Please watch all of my videos. I need more watch hours. So if I do that, then the streaming experience for me becomes extremely miserable. Why? Because I need to please you in order to get the things that I want. And why do I need to do that? It's because I'm this person who needs you. I'm this person who doesn't have the power to create the reality that I want for myself, right? And that perspective underneath the root of everything. I need you because I don't have the thing that you can give to me by myself. And that makes me powerless. That perspective is what makes receiving and asking for help very, very difficult. So if you can come to realize that every person is a person, and you know what? You have your flaws, right? And you have things that you aren't really resourceful in right now. So, for example, if you're a teenager who's watching this, then you don't have adulthood, right? You don't have sovereignty of your own life. If you are a person who is unemployed at this moment, then what do you not have? You don't have, a job, right? But these are all things that don't really define us unless you say it defines you, right? These are things that are happening in transition. Yeah, you may be unemployed right now, but you've never, I mean, there may have been times where you were employed, right? And there are will be times where you are employed, right? And same with kind of every limitation in your life right now. So, for example, like I may not be fit, right? And I really need a spotter. I really need like a physical trainer to help me train and be healthy. I need a dietitian to get me into shape and things like that. But again, as long as I continue to apply myself, that's a temporary thing, right? Eventually, I will be fit. And what you yeah, asking, you could, like, if you're in the situation for asking help, if you're not putting so much stress and so much pressure on the help that you need, and you just accept that, hey, this is a temporary thing and I happen to be in need of it right now, and that's completely fine. That relieves some of the pressure, right? And the rest of the pressure is relieved by recognizing that you have the power to create things yourself. Yeah, so this job interview, right? um, it's nice if you could hire me because you're offering the job, right, to other people. So yeah, if you could do that, that's nice. But I don't 100% solely rely on other people for my faith, right? So as I'm engaging in the interviews, if I am looking into entrepreneurship, or I'm looking into like part-time work, or there are many different other ways to be in ownership of your life while pursuing things that seem better for you, right? So when you believe in the resourcefulness and you rely on your resourcefulness first and foremost, and you just happen to run into opportunities of help from other people, that relieves the pressure of asking other people, because why? You don't need it. And it's nice if you get it, but you're detached from the potential outcome of actually getting the help, or not getting the help and feeling really, really bad about it. Okay. uh, those are the two things I really, really wanted to talk about today. But aside from that, it's just a free talking time. But I'm done folding my laundry, so gotta put some stuff away now. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about my day. But if you have any questions, oh, it's string. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them about your life. Today, I had this. I just came back from swimming, and at in Santa Monica, there's this like a place that sells this food that I haven't tried before. It's called mazemen. It's like a type of ramen, but it's not brothy. It's not very soupy. So there's a little bit of soup underneath, but the most of the noodles are kind of like dry, right? And you mix it and you kind of make it a splashy texture as you eat it. Uh, Tried it for the first time today. Turned out to be pretty good. I had a little bit of the spicy and savory one. Um, and my wife can't eat the spicy food, so she had a more milder one, and I really liked that one. So I think I'm gonna eat that. But it's a little bit al dente, the noodles, so I'm feeling a little full right now. I'll set myself up for tomorrow. I'm currently just going through papers and writing down what I need to do. Favorite type of ramen? So, like, I'm not a ramen guy. I really. So, there's a lot of, like, noodles across cultures, right? Um, and ramen by itself happens to be my least favorite type of noodle. Why? Because I think, in general, I think ramen, the noodles, they don't do a good job at soaking up the soup. So when you have pho, the Vietnamese rice noodles, um, the noodles soak up the broth, right? So it's you don't just taste the rice. And same with the other type of like Japanese noodles, like udon. Udon also like soaks up the broth, right? So it becomes a little like bloated later on. And you know the Korean instant ramen, that also soaks up the broth really well. And same with like pad thai and Thai noodles and all these other noodles. But in general, I find that ramen noodles tend to be the texture and the taste tends to be separate from the broth, and I really don't enjoy that.
What about Hachi ramen?
But one exception to this is in the city, in the great city of San Diego, there used to be this one ill-fated ramen restaurant called Hachi Ramen. And this place just redefined what ramen means to me. And it wasn't just like a traditional ramen place, right? It was a very experimental ramen place. Uh, and at the same time, it was so good with the traditional choices. So it had like birria ramen, right? Like birria is like a Mexican broth, but at the same time, it's like ramen. And there were like they had really great like vegan ramen. So they had all these like very avant-garde types of ramen dishes, but their tonkotsu ramen was like the best ramen I've ever tasted. But then it closed during COVID, and I'm still so bitter about that. And the owner of that restaurant uh, closed down the Hachi Ramen. They repurposed it into like an omakase restaurant. So my wife and I last time we visited San Diego, we visited the omakase restaurant and we told the chef, right, like we're here today, but we really want Hachi Ramen, and they laughed it off. But I don't think they understood how sad I was. You never really liked pho? Yeah, the pho, I think the people who like pho versus who don't like pho, I think it all, to my experience, it comes down to whether you like cilantro or not. And my wife doesn't like cilantro, but I from my wife I also learned there's different types of cilantro experiences. So number one, the people with the specific genes that make cilantro taste like soap, for them there's like nothing you can do to make cilantro taste good because it's like in your DNA. But if it's not, if it doesn't taste like soap, but you just don't like the scent, you could be my wife, where she likes cilantro. Well, she doesn't like it, but she can enjoy cilantro when it's in Mexican food. When it's in like a salsa, she can enjoy it. She can appreciate it. But when it comes to like a broth, like pho, she can't enjoy it. She says it's very different experience. But I really happen to enjoy cilantro, so I always ask for extra cilantro, and I'll eat that. So, but also at the same time, I think pho has kind of a two kinds of pho, and I think a lot of Vietnamese people will be angry if I say this, but I think there's the Vietnamese pho, and then I think there's the Korean pho. And what I mean is, in Korea, in California, there's a big like Koreatown presence, right? And Koreans love soup and Koreans love noodles. So naturally, pho is a very popular dish among Koreans. So a lot of Koreans actually open up a pho restaurant and then they localize it more to the Korean palate. And so they go a little less heavy on the cilantro. They go a little bit more savory and they make it more beefy. And Koreans love like onions. So like they put more onion and more mung bean. So they adapted to that Korean taste. So I don't know what kind of pho you had, but yeah, I think if you go to a town, if you go to a city with a strong Asian presence, then I think you're likely to have a really good pho. I'm not really sure how the pho scene is in where you live, but yeah, noodles, love noodles. Uh, the last time I went to New York, I had that like hand stretched noodles, like that really super glutinous, dough that you just like rip and like I had that. That was so fucking good too. Corporal Hitman, always nice to see you. How's it going? Yeah. Um. So had that today, and before that, I've been cooking a lot at home because I am trying my best to save the environment by not letting a lot of food go to waste. So I've been cooking up a lot of the stuff at home, in my fridge, and so that's what's been going on. And yeah, how are how are your Fridays going? Oh, swimming really kicked my ass today. So these days in swimming, I'm trying to I just got the taste of swimming in and kind of riding that current. Rio, how are you doing? So when you're swimming and you get like somewhat okay with it, there comes this moment where you feel like you're in stream with the water, right? Like you're not doing anything and you're kind of like gliding through. And I've been trying to improve my swimming to have more of that. Rainbow Six Siege on Steam. It's on sale for $10. Wow. Do you like first person shooters? I'm not a big fan of first person shooters because I get very nauseous. But well, Corporal Hitman, um, email me at billy@julylifecoach.com and let's talk a little bit about your Steam. And now going to, but the discount is pretty big. Is Steam going through like a special sale or something? Maybe it's summer. No, it's not summer. It's like spring. You have about 30 missing assignments. Wait, how do you have that many assignments? School's crazy these days. What work you don't finish? Is that for like the entire semester or is it like just a short term thing? 30 sounds insane. Okay, let's pick this up. Email you what? Email me just what you're gonna like what your life has been and what's your life been like. Just wanna well, I don't want to be the type of person who just like hands you stuff right for free. But I also like would love to learn more about you so that I can make those types of decisions. And we don't really get to interact a lot together. So I just wanna have an opportunity to learn more about you. You got the food courier job? Oh hell yeah! That sounds super amazing. How's that been going? Hi, black banana pineapple. Sorry for the kind of a nauseating angle. I'm putting away my laundry, so uh, please bear with me. It's hard. You want an easier job? Yeah. So you're experiencing the very natural human experience of always having a on the other side grass is greener. But easier job is more likely to be paying less, and if it doesn't pay less and it's an easy job, it's more likely to require a lot of training. So it always comes with the trade-off. And but at any point in any job you have, you're always going to feel like there's something that could be better. So I think a big point in life is realizing and recognizing that it is more or less the same, whatever you do. Yeah. The food courier job, is it like an app driven thing like Uber or something? Wait, I think you're in my Discord, right? Yeah, I think we can talk a little bit more Discord. Black banana pineapple. It's TGIF is thank God it's Friday. It's a saying for Friday. Uh yeah, okay, then I'll DM you on Discord to get it. Okay. You have 8 classes, 4 core classes, testing month. Teachers have been assigning things like crazy. Well, I guess well, at least you'll be learning a lot of things. I don't know if that's a consolation, but okay. Oh wow, why do I have so much laundry? But I can't give up the time I used to study because of homework. I've gotten into a good school that will set me up, but not passing these will set me back. Yeah, well, yeah, I understand your situation because I've been a student before too. But I mean, if it is my selfish desire for you to be uh just a bit at ease with stuff because why? After college, you think you would be set, right? But like I just told Corporal Hitman, there's always the next struggle. And the next struggle will always invite the next thing, and there will always be a next thing to pursue. Always one more next potential setback, next potential thing to gain. So I'm not trying to get you to like be bummed out about everything, but I'm just I want you to occasionally take the time to breathe and enjoy life because the process is what's important rather than the outcome because no outcome is permanent. We have to be able to enjoy the process because that is the gift. Sounds super cliche and everything, right? Yeah. But I say this because I genuinely care about you, all of you watching this stream, and I want you to know that everything that looks so attractive and good, once you get it, you'll either get used to it, and the stimulus will not hit like it did before, and you will be left wanting more again. So you'll always be in that cycle, or you won't get what you want and then now that lack will drive you crazy because it sounds so sweet, the idea and the potential of having that thing that you want. So that's basically what Buddha means when he says life is suffering, right? Life is just a constant cycle of wanting, desiring, getting used to it, and the more we recognize that pattern, and the more we don't participate in the tornado of the invitation of desire. Again, that's the important part, but I understand that it's not easy peasy lemon squeezy, like I say, until you cross that point of actually understanding how it can be easy peasy lemon squeezy. College makes you miss primary school, and your job makes you miss college. Yeah, so um, that is the majority's kind of like experience, right? Oh. Yeah. All grass is always greener on the other side, and you never have the opportunity to enjoy life when you're actually in it. You know, the quote from The Office, Andy Bernard, he says, like, near the season finale, he says, I wish there was a way to know that we're in the good old days when we're in the good old days. And that's sort of like constantly true, right? That statement is like you're always in the good old times because something can always go worse and something can always go really, really bad. But people don't like to think about that. People generally like to think about how life can always be better, but then that's a short-sightedness because the brain tends to get used to the same kind of stimulus over and over. Uh, Let me close up the stream and then I'll DM you because I don't know my Steam name off the top of my head. Yeah, well, I mean, we've all been to school, so definitely understand the sentiment. So tired of it. All right, I'm done with my laundry. Now I'm going to go enjoy my Friday. So I wish you all a happy Friday as well, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining today. Bye.